Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name's Wendy Wing. I'm doing a psychic tarot reading for you, tuning into the day's energy, seeing what divine messages of guidance come through for you. This is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. If you'd like a personal reading, there's a link in the description box below. It takes you right to my book online page. All right, let's get to your reading. The overall energy of your reading is the Nine of Cups in reverse. Being out of alignment with your heart. Interesting. Being out of alignment, exploring being out of alignment. Feels like going after, wanting to create something that looks good, that you perceive. Feels like that we're talking about perceiving things up here instead of creating from your heart space what you personally would prefer. Feels like you have examined a lot in life around what you wouldn't prefer. So it feels like we're talking about being out of alignment. Wow, showing up again. Interesting. There's someone in your energy who's very much out of alignment. Feels like a very jealous energy, someone who feels very comfortable projecting their limitations onto you. This feels like a habit of this person. You can decide if this is your energy, if you have this as well. When you're out of alignment, I know when I'm out of alignment, definitely in the past, especially, I would project a lot of blame onto others. Probably because my family did that, and even my mom would jokingly laugh. So if anyone in the house came down with a cold, became sick, the first thing that she asked was, "Where'd you get this from?" And she would joke, assess blame. But that was how my mom operated. There was no internal, she couldn't have criticism because that would make her bad from how she was raised. And so she passed that on to me, that when you're feeling bad, when something doesn't go wrong, when you get sick, who to blame? Assess blame. So what I'm gathering here is someone who's very much out of alignment, and instead of seeking within, how can I create an experience that is more in alignment with who I am and what I would prefer. Instead, I'm going to stay out of alignment and blame everyone else. Interesting. Feels like whoever this is that I'm talking about, you're not in contact with this person, because this person's energy is very toxic, because they project blame onto others. So it feels like you have turned your back on this person, or they perceive that you're icing them out. There's no contact. Somehow that's a challenge. Interesting. Got several different stories coming up around this. This energy, whoever this is, it could be multiple people around you who operate very similarly. This could literally be your mother. As I'm perceiving, this energy reminds me of not only my mother, but how she taught me to also be this way by her example. But there's something here. It feels like this, whoever this is, they also have inserted themselves in a relationship, like in between you and others. It feels like this person has a lot to say negatively about you and about your relationship with them. This person feels like they're in a really bad place, very out of balance, and they're assessing blame. They're in a strategy, a coping strategy of theirs, instead of perceiving themselves as wrong because that would be very bad, that they are projecting all sorts of blame onto you. This person also feels very comfortable getting in between you and other people, trying to sow seeds of discontent in your relationships. I feel like you see this. I think this person thinks they're very sneaky and deceptive, but you understand what their strategy is. And it looks like your strategy, as I'm tuning into it, is not communicating with this person, just allowing them to have whatever beliefs, say whatever they want to say. There's this energy of, if I don't engage with you, if I don't engage in trying to convince others of my truth and just live my truth, just make choices to live your truth, instead of trying to argue and convince people, I'm just going to live my truth. Will it take longer for people to see the message because you're going to be creating and painting this message in your 3D? You're going to be creating the truth in your environment and not wasting your time with someone who's just very out of alignment. I also feel a compassion coming from you to this person, a realization that it has nothing to do, they're out of alignment, and what's going on with them has nothing to do with you. That they're stuck in a habitual patterning, maybe because you got yourself out of this patterning and recognize it, you understand how powerful it is to be that stuck and how uncomfortable, and it doesn't feel like you want to punch down. It feels like addressing this person in their woundedness. It feels like this person is just in a very wounded space. And it feels almost compassionate. They might not experience it that way, but to just let them have whatever they are having, whatever they are saying about you, and you just choosing to focus on your new beginning, on what you are creating, what you are building for yourself in the 3D. Woo! All right. That's a big overall energy. The hidden blessing is the Hierophant. Feels like you are very connected with Source right now. Maybe that's why you're also feeling very compassionate. No longer needing to project blame, not taking it personally. Feels like you're connected with your higher self and see this person and perceive what they're saying about you and recognizing that it really has nothing to do with you. It's a coping strategy, and it feels like you've hit some levels of grace and compassion, and that's a blessing. It feels like this person in the past punched down a lot, and you were down below this person. And so now that the tables have turned, it feels like you might have the upper hand in this. And instead of annihilating this person, instead of punishing this person, instead of punching down, there's a realization that you can end this cycle, this pattern, that to disengage, that this is not for the highest and greatest good. Wow. Wow. You've got the Hierophant and the High Priestess showing up in the hidden blessings. This is a lot of non-physical energies and guides, a lot of loving information, unlimited potential. You're very intuitive. Feels like you're creating the new version of you. You're stepping out of those old patterns. You recognize that they don't serve you, that they don't serve anyone really. Wow. You're very powerful energy right now. Feels like you are making choices, making very powerful choices about who you're going to be going forward and how you're going to operate moving forward. Wow. All right. What you're leaving behind is the Fool. Leaving behind the Fool. I think leaving behind foolish ways of being, of feels like you have learned how to deal with your emotions in such a way that you're not behaving foolishly any longer. You're not able, people aren't able to, excuse me. People aren't able to project so much onto you. You're just recognizing fools for what they are, and it feels like making different choices. It also looks like you've healed those aspects, those foolish aspects within you that were immature, that allowed others to project onto you. Maybe where you were projecting onto others. But there's a lot of leaving behind depending on others to see you in a certain way, leaving behind needing others to validate you, being dependent on how others perceive you. Feels like that's the trap. That's also what this energy, this person that I've tuned into, that they don't know how to ask for help in a mature way, recognizing a woundedness within them. And so they project blame onto others. And it feels like in the past you might have like, oh my gosh, I heard you said this about me, and oh my God, like I I need you to see my point of view. It feels like there would have been a lot of you doing PR sweeps, public relations, communicating to everybody your truth and needing them to validate and see your point of view. I think what you're leaving behind is that type of behavior, recognizing that if someone is joining in and enabling that energy, that they might not really be your friend either. Does that make sense? So we're talking about people being very out of line, and then enablers, flying monkeys, people supporting and being a part of tearing others down because they can't do it themselves. How to get the most of this energy is the Lovers. Choices. This is the second time the Lovers card has shown up. Feels like you are making much better choices around love, self-love. Wow, how to get the most of this energy. Okay, the Lovers, Ace of Cups. It feels like inviting new energies in, Four of Wands. I didn't think this was going to be a love reading, but this feels like in how to get the most of this energy, it's new love, allowing yourself to be loved, allowing yourself to be happy, choosing what truly is loving, not someone telling you this is love, but really experiencing this. This feels like someone who adores you, who you both can choose each other. It looks like both of you have had past experiences where you thought that you had your happily ever after, but instead it feels like both of you have experienced being deceived by others, maybe limerence, fantasy, and it ended up being a lot of work and not love. So there's some mirroring going on here, and whoever this is. Anything more about who's coming in? What does the viewer need to know most? What's messages for the highest and greatest good? What's interesting, it feels like this person, this wonderful energy coming in is not make-believe. It's not someone that you have to support them or like give everything to them. Someone who takes. Someone who's uncomfortable with emotions, a player. It feels like the messages here are showing yourself, going slowly enough in a relationship, taking it slowly, and seeing if this is the similar energy, or if this is different than your usual type. It feels like there's not fantasizing about this person. When you're not with them, letting them go instead of creating this fantasy version, continuing talking to them all the time, imagining what would be. So creating a fictitious version of the relationship. You're very clear about what you don't want in a relationship, and very guarded against mental manipulation players, someone hoodwinking you, telling you this is love and it isn't, someone who's maybe using you for your abundance or stability, your blessings. Not getting any closer to that, but it feels like allowing love to come in, allowing a new type of loving relationship to come in, if you're ready for it, if you're ready to take that leap of faith and not be overwhelmed, to allow your feelings, your emotions to fog your reality. All right, not getting anything more. All right, what's supporting you is the Queen of Swords. I love this. She's considering, thinking very closely. It's like she's listening to someone, but she's got that katana, her sword, and it feels like the moment someone says something that's not true, she's just, nope. There's a level of clarity that you have right now, an ability to see, feel resonance, feel the truth in things. So it feels like when you hear a lie, it's just, I'm just not going to go that direction. I'm going to go in a different direction instead of, I'm going to then, if I hear a lie about me, I'm going to go and try to convince them that it's, you're just not putting any energy with the Five of Wands in reverse. Any type of, it feels like you're no longer interested in drama. And that also feels like how this energy operates. They don't know how to heal themselves, and so they kind of create ripples of drama and blame. It just feels like you know too much. You're not interested. I don't want to. It feels like on some level that whoever this is that's projecting a lot of blame, if they could get you to interact with them, it doesn't feel like you are, then they pull you down to their vibration, to their energy. And I think you recognize that you've gone too far. They're at a different level. I'm not going to decimate this person. It feels like you could decimate this person, but you realize that this person is just in a hopeless place and they're desperate to get out of that. And you've got this energy of the Ace of Swords. You've got the truth. You've got the truth on your side. You know the truth. You know who you are. You're senior in your space. And that feels like enough. And like I said, it feels like you're going to show people with time and how you recreate yourself, how you create your environment, that will speak loads of truth. Also want to mention that in this reading, we've got the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. New energy, new ideas coming in, new opportunities for growth coming in, new loving energies. There's a lot coming in for you right now. New. All right, what to be mindful of is the Four of Wands. Happy home. Celebration. I think staying above whatever this is, whatever this feminine who's out of balance and wants to project onto you, feels like not allowing, if you don't agree with that energy, their assessment, to give that back to them, to allow them to have whatever they want, and to focus on your happiness, focus on celebration, focus on all this new energy coming in, focusing on how blessed you are at this time because you're so connected with your higher self. You have this unlimited potential, and it feels like with these energies you're creating true happiness for yourself. And it feels like happy home, happy environment. It feels like whatever you've been working on, that you will achieve what you're wanting to create. And to just to let those go who have not been able to, feels like those who are criticizing you, who are determined to spread false things about you, just recognizing, I just feel so much compassion and disengaging from that energy. Like grace and compassion, a recognition that if you address it, if you turn back, then you are lowering your energy to go back into that. You would be missing out on all this new energy. There's something that you've been focusing on for a long time, and it feels like you're getting very close to harvest time, that right now you're watching how you spend your money, you spend your time. It feels like you're very focused on building this new reality for yourself. Whatever this is. Right now it feels like there's a lot of confusion, maybe because you don't see it yet. And there's some fears creeping in. Wow. You've learned a new way of dealing with your emotions. You have or are in the process of learning how to deal with your own emotions instead of projecting them onto others. And it feels like instead of talking about it, this new way, you're just demonstrating. You're just being your lesson, showing up in a way that's very authentic to you, that's happy, that's joyful, that's very focused on what you're creating for yourself, and letting those who are out of alignment and have something to say about you, just not punching down, just recognizing where they are and focusing on the direction you would prefer to go instead of joining them. So, all right, those are your messages. I hope that was helpful. Take care. Bye.